my dear gardening friends. Today I'm working on improving this area of my garden, the area under my arch. And as you can see, I had to bend going under these branches. So I'm going to take them down today to create more sun and more space for us and our roses. We have 4 baby roses growing here, and I am also going to plant Lacy Phacelia today. So for you who don't know what happened to this area here recently in my garden, I recently built this arch and I am trying to introduce 2 climbing roses on both sides. So let's see how they are doing, an update on this area for you. What I did with my boxwoods, I put the mulch around the root systems because these boxwoods were not doing very well last year, and the front row barely survived winter. Now I can see that they put a nice canopy of leaves, but they are still going to struggle this summer. We have a lot of direct sun beaming right here on these boxwoods, and to avoid the heating of soil, I decided to use mulch. I should have used mulch long time ago, maybe last year right away after planting. Well, my mistake, learned from me. I didn't do it and my boxwoods suffered. So that's what I did with my boxwoods. And here in the shade, they're putting a nice fresh canopy of leaves. They would be ready for their first haircut at the end of spring. But let me show you how my New Dawn baby rose is doing. I had to protect it from all the birds and squirrels. And look, it's putting a nice little leaves already. It's probably hard to see because of the netting I have here. This baby arrived as a band rose, very small, and is doing quite well. Now, this rose will be growing on the arch on this side. And the plan is that I'm putting a rose on another side too, the same variety, New Dawn. And I ordered that other New Dawn from David Austin website, and it arrived just several days ago. And when I opened the package, half of the roots were dry. Gosh, you should have seen how quickly I ran for the water bottle. So I put New Dawn own root from David Austin into the water. I don't know how it is going to be, but looks like I will show you. I planted it out already. Look, it's right here. It looks like it is, sorry, my shadow is in the way. Let's move it here. Looks like it's doing okay. You see those little shoots? They are bigger today than they were yesterday. So my hopes are high that this New Dawn will be doing okay, despite arriving to my house with somewhat dry root system. I planted it at the back of my arch, and the plan is that on both sides of the arch, 2 New Dawn roses will be climbing up and conquering the heights. Now, one New Dawn is own root and another New Dawn is grafted. So I'm curious to see how both of them are going to do, because the location and the access to sun is almost the same. So it would be interesting to see how they grow. Now here we have my wonderful Brother Get-File rose. And this poor little rose, she was suffering rose the minute she came into my garden. Last year I planted it out. Rabbits invaded it, ate it horribly. I didn't notice it on time. And when I noticed it, it was kind of late. My rose went into the forced dormancy. So I was always having a plan to replant this rose and put it right there on this spot. But now I'm kind of giving this rose a second chance to maybe thrive here. And so my plans change. My plans are You see these big, long branches of my tree growing here? I'm going to take them down today, and I'm going to reuse them in the garden to make different garden structures. But those branches are going to go because they're very low over this path, and it's kind of uncomfortable to walk under them. So these branches are going to go. There's another reason why I'm going to take them, because my arborvitaes, my prized arborvitaes, are suffering from shade. And the way arborvitaes suffering from shade, they're starting to thin on shady areas. So I will show you right here. Look at this. They're becoming bare here. They don't like, generally arborvitaes don't like touching other plants, but if you give them enough space and sun, they will build enough of canopy to thrive together and make a privacy hedge. Well, as you can see here, they are in shady, semi-shady conditions. So all these branches are going to go today. Let me show you another rose here. So there are 4 roses altogether growing here. And look at this rose. This rose is Bliss Parfuma Rose, Cordes Rose, Floribunda Rose. I read so much about it, and so many people were raving about it, that I went ahead and ordered this rose to my garden. It's a good space for her. It's a sunny space. No competition from other plants here. So I hope this rose will be thriving. The minute I planted it, look at the leaves. It got eaten by rabbits the same night. Gosh, what can you do? So I had to protect this rose right away with netting. And look at my lilacs. Beautiful. All right, so back to planting Phacelia, Lacy Phacelia. You know, I was thinking why I was so unsuccessful trying to raise Lacy Phacelia indoors 6 to 8 weeks before planting time. When I planted Lacy Phacelia, it became very lanky, and I didn't have a lot of space to put, well, not space, but I don't grow my plants under artificial light. So my Lacy Phacelia became lanky and stretchy very quickly, and I couldn't raise it well. So I knew if plants are becoming very lanky and very kind of leggy, they're not going to have a successful growing season. So I gave up that idea, and I saved seeds to plant outside directly into the soil. So this area, I'm planting Lacy Phacelia today. All right, this is the area. I took all the weeds out, all the heavy stones, to prepare the site for planting. And you know what I was thinking? Why Lacy Phacelia didn't want to raise for me inside the house? And I came to the conclusion that because Lacy Phacelia is a wild flower, prairie flower, very often those flowers which are growing in the wild in tough conditions, they are kind of opportunistic plants. They rise very quickly when the sun is there. They get all the moisture in spring they can to prepare for dry, hot conditions of summer in the open space. And they grow very fast. So I think Lacy Phacelia is one of those plants when it grows fast and ready to put a big rose in spring and then conquer the time of dry, tough conditions by being already grown up, you know, in the way of a plant and well-established plant. So what I'm going to do, since Phacelia needs light to germinate, I'm going to make sure that this soil here is well hydrated. And I garden on a very sandy soil, so my water disappears like in no time here. And that's what Phacelia likes. Phacelia thrives in dryish, poor soil. Some more water. Phacelia seeds are very small. Well, not really small, but they're plentiful. So what I'm going to do, I'm going just to spread them around and not worry where these seeds are going to fall and how they're going to grow. Just like in the wild, you know? Okay. That's it. All right, so that job is done. Now these branches, you see how low they're falling? I don't like it. Plus this rose, I want to give it more sun, so I'm opening this area for the sake of my future of my beautiful arborvitaes and for the sake of my rose. So, cutting these branches out. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big, fairly big branches taken down from that tree. My family helped me to move all these heavy, they're quite heavy, these branches. But what a wonderful material for my future building projects in my garden. I already have a plan what I'm going to do with all these beautiful limbs. Wow, and they are big. Look at them. These are big, beautiful branches. I'm not going to get rid of them because they're very valuable in my garden. So, see you next time during my next adventure in my garden.